Here we go, we're back in the basement again, trying to clear out some unfinished projects. I have 3 projects that I'm going to share today and a little bonus project to use up almost the entirety of the new IOD spring release transfer called Lost Garden. Here I'm prepping a lovely linen press, which had already been previously painted, but I sanded it, cleaned it, we filled in some dings and some loose veneer with a fiberglass wood filler and sanded that all smooth. And now I am painting first coat on this dresser. I'll be adding a couple of other coats to get a good solid surface on which to apply this transfer. This video is part of an IOD spring release playlist, and you'll find that linked in the description box below. There are lots of other creators who are preparing video tutorials for your inspiration. This linen press dresser is now completely prepped, dried, and ready to go. I used a paint with a built-in sealer. I'm going to start on the dresser first with the IOD transfer called Lost Garden. It's a new one. It's beautiful. I'm going to try to get a dresser, a hamper, a side table, and maybe some artwork done, all from this transfer for a bedroom collection. This project is going to require some careful planning. So the first thing I do is I pull out all the pages of the transfer and then lay them out so that I can map them and measure to make sure that they will fit on each of the projects that I would like to do today. You can also use the illustrations on the back of the transfer package to help you with that layout. Then I'll begin to tape the pages into place so that I can adjust the placement on the doors. I find that it is easiest for me to line everything up when I trim away the little white edges along the edge of each of the pages of the transfer. Then I begin to apply the transfer sheet to the door using the applicator stick that is included. Because the paint I've used has a built-in top coat, it does make that transfer glide easily onto the surface. The most important thing is to make sure that the surface on which you apply the transfer is clean, dry, and wax-free. You'll get the best result if you're using a chalk style paint, if you apply a finish coat over the top of the paint before you apply your inlay. Also, you want it to be completely dry. I've trimmed and fit each transfer piece working from one side to the other of the door and applied each of them separately. Then I decided that I needed to add more up on the top part of the door, so I just went through all of the scraps that I had left over from my other 2 projects and I began to fill in that space, randomly applying those different floral pieces from the Lost Garden transfer until I filled the entire space. We consider it an honor to be a part of the IOD stockist community, and we are so excited about each of the products that Josie and Sally share with us so that we can share inspiration and ideas from the 2025 IOD Spring Collection. I also gave this piece a little bit of detail painting with a beautiful gold paint. An IOD furniture transfer must be finished with a top coat or a wax to seal it in place. On the next piece, I've chosen a little side table which had already been previously base coated, so I just gave it another coat of paint to make sure that I had a good foundation for the transfer. I'm going to keep this piece a little bit simpler, so I'm cutting out some of those trim pieces to go around the outside edge of my table. And then I'll transfer those into place. Finally, I added 2 other little images from that Lost Garden transfer to the top of the table and to the bottom shelf. This is a little vintage hamper. It's metal and it needs some help. So we gave this quick sanding and cleaning and applied yet another beautiful shade of green to the hamper. I still had 3 full sheets from the Lost Garden transfer, and I begin to apply those around the entire surface of the hamper. Any extra that I had to trim away, I saved, and that is what I used to fill in the doors on the linen press. Of course, this hamper got a little bit of glam, and I gave that some trim with gold paint. Megan and Shirley also decided that it needed a little something extra on the top, so I used one of our MDF filigree frames and we painted that gold and then applied that on top of the hamper, and it is just the perfect finishing touch. Of course, each of the remaining pieces, the little side table and the hamper, got a finishing coat with a matte polyacrylic sealer. If you're enjoying the content that you're seeing today, we would love it if you would subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave us a comment, and hit that like button. We've got lots more IOD spring release videos to share with you, along with lots of other inspiration and tutorials on this YouTube channel. We know your time is valuable, so we always appreciate when you spend a little bit of time here with us at L&J Goods. You're going to find all of the products that we use today in the description box listed below. So there are 3 beautiful projects that all kind of go together. There are 3 different shades of green, but they complement each other because I have used all of the IOD Lost Garden transfer. Okay, but hold up, I've got one more bonus project. The cover of the IOD transfers are beautiful in themselves. So I grabbed a vintage oval frame and removed the contents of it, then used the piece of glass as a template to cut a part out of that cover. And would you look at that? Now I've got a beautiful piece of artwork for that bedroom collection that fits right in with all of the other pieces. You can find all of the products that we've used today linked in the description box below. You can also find them at our brick and mortar shop in Medina, New York, or at lnjgoods.com. Sweet filigree, bum bum bum. I'm coming out. I want the world to know I'm heavy painted gold.